bing, bada boom. Yes, it is that simple. What is this? This was in my recommended feed. Some guy, Jacko Man, uploaded some online replays, and now we're gonna watch his online replays. I don't need that to be that loud. Who are these players? EM, Ta, I can't read it, it's too small, Taekwa. That looks like it might be a Korean name. Punk.sf legend. This must be Punk. That team, that's Jay Wong's team. I recognize that squad. It is unreal how much Iron Man and Nova are slept on. Even Miss Marvel is a little slept on, I feel. I'm so surprised that Ultron sees as much play as he does, and the other three are like just sometimes there. Ultron might be the best of them. I don't know. They all bring a lot different shit to the table. Like it's really hard to quantify Iron Man's Rekkas or like a Photon Absorber or something like that. Versus like, you know. This is double reality post nerf. Isn't it? That looked like pre-nerf reality. Yeah, this looks like pre-nerf reality. This was uploaded today, but it must be... Oh, yeah, I've had that happen in my favor and against me. Ice goes behind the character using it, which is actually pretty fucking nice. Iron Man supers are shit in general, to be 100% honest. He has a pretty damn hard time using two supers in a combo. It's possible, but it's hard. He can't do super midair. His supers all require very specific setups. His level 3 is super slow. And very hard to combo into. His level 1 is moderately slow and very hard to combo into. The one really big advantage Iron Man's Beam Super has against Ultron's is I think it does a little bit more damage. And also, now that I mention it, I think it lasts a little longer. And both of those are pretty nice. Ultron's Beam Super is not that strong. Iron Man's Beam Super seems to be... Maybe this... It might actually be the strongest Beam Super in the game, from what I've seen. But having one super just sucks. And don't tell me that fucking the up one is a different super, although the up one does do some kind of cool stuff that I think most people probably aren't aware of. It's shitty, it doesn't work well. I could actually show that off. I'm on hiatus from school because my college moved. I was at Western State College of Law, and they changed their campus location. They changed premises. And I could just drive to where they used to be, but now I would need to like get an apartment where they are. And I was just like, fuck it. Nice punish. That was really good awareness. I would have just hit him. But it was much better to wait for the attack. Alright, so this is definitely post-balance patch, since there is a Black Widow present. That would be a good super. I wouldn't mind an energy... What do you call that? Photon Blast? The one where he fucking holds the ball above his head. I would like that as a super. That would be a good super for Iron Man, I feel. And it's just like a Kiko show, but he holds it over his head. That would be an excellent super. Shit, dude. Bipolar. You getting medicine? They make medicine for that. I would play this team. That's a cool team. Strider, Black Widow. Yeah, Strider fights. I said recently that Strider doesn't fight too well out of the box, but he wasn't that bad. But Ouroboros, man. Ouroboros makes you a king in the box. Ouroboros actually makes it really hard to approach you. If you're just whiffing jabs occasionally and, shooting Cheerios. I think Strider desyncs super easily, and Widow desyncs moderately easily. So I expect that they're a pretty solid each for Soulstone. You can easily just put Strider behind the opponent in Soulstone. Ooh. Yeah, Widow's damage seems pretty good. And her damage bleeds into Oki, and she's got a command grab. She's like the Makoto of this game almost. I don't know if there's a Street Fighter character that she's like. But I mean, even in those qualities. Not like in her tool set. But like having super high damage if you manage to get a hit. And having like a command grab and being squishy as fuck. I feel like, is that anyone? Is there anyone like that? Nice. I guess there wasn't really a mix-up there. It's no mix-up, mix-up. I don't think he can kill with this, but it's going to be pretty close. No, it's going to kill. I'm glad that that hit properly, considering how high it hit. Akuma doesn't have a command grab, though. I mean, technically, you've got Demon Flip Throw. Seth has a command grab, but Seth's not, like, super high damage. But Seth is squishy, and he does have, like, good tools. Seth is one I thought of. Oh, a nice fucking shitty combo. Yo, this is looking kind of lit. My friend just messaged me, and he was like, I want to play Venom Jetta. And now I kind of want to lab Venom Jetta just to see what's up. Despite the fact that I fought a shit ton of Jetta, I don't actually know that much about how to play him. I played Venom casually in MVC1. You might say that I played MVC1 casually. Oh, it fell out. How sad. Yes, I played Vampire Savior. Have I ever played it competitively? No. Well, I should say very casually competitively. I used to play it on TDF and GGPO. I just got the ship from Portoga. That sounds like, oh shit, that's either DQ2 or DQ3, but I forget which. Both of those games are like, what the fuck do I do once I get the boat? Dragon Quest II is really what the fuck do I do when I get the boat? But both of those games are super, super, super bad about that. Technically speaking, I have a video. Let's play of me playing through the entirety of Dragon Quest III. In fact, I have two of it. Alright, there is a town where you have to take a dealer. And you will lose the dealer for a fucking long time, so go ahead and make a new dealer. There's a town on the very eastern continent, on the top right part of the very eastern continent, where you have to take a dealer. and leave the dealer there. So just go make a level 1 dealer. Do that now. It doesn't really matter when you do it because it only actually, no matter when you do it, it only actually becomes possible to do follow-up quests once you've got the other like 5 orbs or whatever. If you haven't played the game before, you don't even know that you're finding orbs. That's where the game goes once you... There's an icy island in the south. In the very southwest, I think. And on that icy island, you can go there as soon as you get the boat. Alright, that was a nice, slow reality stone. They tell you to go gather orbs. You don't have to go there now, but it does give it to you as a return point. Or zoom if you're playing one of the new translations. Actually, I'm not even sure you can return there. Not even sure it is a return point. Basically, like, just sail around. I get that it's free, and I get that it's safe. Oh my god, he actually hit her. Oh. But I'm still kind of surprised that Chris has spammed that super as often as they do. Not spam it, just like they do it in situations where it looks like it can't possibly work. But I say that, but he just did 2 random level 3s and they both worked, so he made it look kind of good. Scamby playing this Chris team is pretty funny. Chris in general is pretty cool. Master CJ. This must be CJ Showstopper. I just feel like they should have given Monster Hunter a name. It's pretty satisfying hitting a Power Stone. Nice. Chris super into mesh teleport. It's actually really hard to block. Okay, the teleporting was a bit excessive. This should kill. He was midair, so that does extra chip. Chris got buffed a little bit, didn't he? Someone, like, deserving of buffs got nerfed. It wasn't Chris, I think it was Frank. Frank got nerfed. I think Chris got buffed. I know Revolver got better. Strange has always been slept on, I think. There are certain characters that no matter what they do to buff or nerf them, they're not going to see play for a while. Strange is one of those characters. Certain characters are just not early game characters. Certain characters just take time. How is this combo still going? Okay, there it goes. Cap is getting a bit more popular. I want to see a cap combo, damn it. Ooh, tricky. I like that. It's gonna go through. They call each other Steve and Bucky. How nice. Got him. That didn't get him. Oh, he hit Dante. Just show me a Cap combo. I don't care how it happens. Cap will, like, kill anyone before he shows off his combo route. Cap is too strong. And these characters have too low of health. Oof. He actually could have comboed that trade. Ooh, forward roll might have been bad. Oh yeah, I got both. That was the worst reality stone I've ever seen. A jump hard kick would have just ended it. Using tags to get multiple elements up at once is pretty smart. Put him in the box! Ooh, having a Power Stone as your first hit is fucking nuts, speaking as a Power Stone player. Power Stone does so much damage, you can so easily just get 6k from a Power Stone, like we just saw. Think Morgan is viable? I think so. She seems to be quite good from what little I've seen of her, and from what little I've heard from people who come in. No, a lot of stuff she has is... She's got good movement, that doesn't go away. A lot of her stuff doesn't work on gimmicks. Ooh. Dennis power starring you is like one of the worst things that can happen to you in this game. Power stone gives you super easy converts from situations like that. Like an air dash jump hard punch after an air dash, like when the opponent can be at any height, is actually moderately hard to combo out of. That's pretty sick. He'd already used the ground bounce. Kind of surprised I had time to pick up. Oh no. GG. That super does weirdly high damage. Or maybe it's just because it does the damage really quickly, it looks high. 2 Jettas. 2 Space Stone. Black Widow is super good in Space Stone. Black Widow feels pretty good in general. Black Widow, from what I've seen of her toolset, she looks like she can do some neat stuff. I like to know some basic Black Widow combo routes, but I don't know how to use most of her tools. That's a 720. Well, it's not a 720 motion, but you know. Command grab. So quarter circle forward hard punch. Puts a bomb on you. If you're blocking when the bomb detonates, you're fine. But if you're attacking when the bomb detonates, it interrupts you. But if you hit the opponent, the bomb goes away. So it kind of forces you to climb up. I don't know how her command jump works at all. Oh, that was a cool route. Never seen that shit. The right route here can actually kill her. He didn't go for it. I think a follow-up Dante combo into a level 1. Into like some Jetta jump heavies or something. Might have been able to kill her. She's 9k, right? That wasn't a super long combo. See, if Dante got out successfully, it was so good for Kill Sage. But space just forces a single character. The Kill Sage had like chances to tag, so I shouldn't say like that. But situations where, like, losing a character sucks so bad, and space can force the opponent to lose a character in situations where they would otherwise be able to play and preserve. And that's one of the main reasons I feel like it's the best stone by far. Nice. This is actually what he needed. If he can kill Widow, that'd be so sick. He can't. He can kill Widow. Can't kill Jeddah. Now he's gotta live through the box, but it should be really good for him. Yeah, kill stage looks super good here, regardless of the meter. I'd rather have all that health than all that meter. That was a really good connect. Be able to convert out of that. Now it's whoever gets the next touch. And Sonic Fox. Oh, that was it. That was it. That was actually it. Sonic Fox had that one. That's a high profile match right there. It's 2 kicks, I think, and you can do it midair. Chris, you won, right? I think I saw. I think I witnessed. Witness me. I'm super sleepy even though I didn't wake up that early. I guess I did. I woke up at like 7:30. I guess it's like 11 p.m. This is like a time where it makes sense that I would be tired. There's top 8 of Injustice. I kind of want to see that. You want to make your Marvel look better? You mean like with mods? I think I saw this match. There was like a Hellboy and a Manta. This is a pretty wacky. I haven't seen. I've been seeing. I feel like Harley Quinn isn't common at all anymore. Did she get some really big nerf a while ago? GameSpot versus. I think so. Harley Quinn? What happened? Green Arrow's a character who never used to show up, and now he has quite a few players. He doesn't look different from when I used to see him when the game basically just came out, so I don't know what they did to him. His damage looks about the same. His gameplay looks about the same. It's still mash fire arrows and, like, zone. That's an overhead. Green Arrow has maybe more typical zoning. The thing about Green Arrow is, I don't know if you know about this game. Um, Green Arrow is he's got arrows that he can always do, but 90% of the time they do like no damage. I shouldn't say 90% of the time. It's based on how you play. They do no damage naturally, but you can load up arrows, and the arrows make them either really, really fast or really, really strong or some combination therein or lead to giant combos. Fire arrows, you get 3 and they're super quick and they do pretty good damage. I think electric arrows, I don't know that much about electric arrows in this game. I think they're faster than fire arrows and I think they're weaker, but you only get 2 of them. Is that how it works? They might be faster and stronger, but you only get 2 of them. But in Injustice 1 they were weaker. I never see anyone use electric arrows. Fire arrows pretty much have the niche that electric arrows would have, I think. Ice arrows lead to the full combo. Anyway, he can fire them as lows, he can fire them as overheads. You can spot the difference between them, but it can be kind of hard in the moment. He can basically shoot anywhere with them, except like full screen jumping opponent. He can shoot it straight forward, he can shoot it upwards, he can shoot it from the air down. I don't remember if he can shoot it from the air forward. I don't think he can. But that's just his trait. He's also got that move, the jump away plus shoot the ground with an arrow. And it's like a backdash with a hitbox, basically. It's quite good. Okay, he can shoot arrow straight. For some reason I couldn't picture that. I could only picture him shooting it up downward. His damage is okay too. It's not horrible. A lot of Green Arrow players cut their combos a little short to reload. Reload is fast enough that you can get it out in footsies though. Every now and then you see Green Arrows use like the non-loaded arrows, which do like 1% per hit. They're pretty damn weak, but they still control space equally well, so it's okay to use them. A lot of people are really aggressive about approaching Arrow when he doesn't have arrows loaded, and you can use your weak arrows to help prevent that. I mean, you can just see it right here. You can see how well he's zoning. Green Arrow is a pretty... He like wins in trades versus most other zoning characters. He can attack from more ranges effectively. That was nice. He can attack from more ranges effectively, and he like trades pretty well. It's not... He's got probably some of the more traditional zoning in the game. He's got more options. He's got traditional and non-traditional zoning. He's just a more complete zoning character than most of the characters in this game. It's not impossible for him to rush down, but it's not great. And in Justice 1, people spammed Ice Arrow, because it was kind of hard to react between low and overhead with it. Basically a mix-up. And either one would lead to a pretty big combo. But now getting frozen scales your combos pretty bad, I think. So all ice moves got nerfed. Deadshot's based around the speed of his recovery of his fireballs. The main little wrist shot you have, it's a high, you can just duck it. But it's got almost no startup and almost no recovery. The damage is pretty low, and it does only shoot at literally the worst possible angle to shoot. Well, not the worst. Obviously, you could like shoot upwards, something like that. But like of a standard fireball, a high fireball is like, as boring as it gets. It's like painfully standard, plus it's crouchable, but most fireballs are crouchable in this game. I shouldn't say most. Well, probably is most, yeah. But if you look at like, say, Batarang, or like Firestorm forward projectile, or like that kind of thing, Harley Quinn's gun, the other like high projectiles that just go straight forward. This game has good balance between zoning and rushdown for the most part. It's just completely ridiculous how fast it sights up and how fast it recovers. Deadshot is like the Guile of this game. In that way. Or not, maybe not Deadshot's the Guile, but that's the Sonic Boom. You have to pay it so much respect. You can use other fireballs to trade with it, but it's just hard because he'll often like, hit you in your startup or hit you in like your recovery or something like that. His projectile's like instant and full screen. And heals quick. What are these words? I don't care about words. I watched this one on stream. I was rooting for White Boy. I put my hands up. Yeah, Deadshot was annoying and strong in the early versions of the game, but I think nowadays he's just annoying and good. He's like probably mid-tier nowadays, I think, from what I can tell. But he's still like, you have to play him really slow. You have to outlame him. You have to walk and duck and walk and duck. Different characters have different things they can do. The other gun is quite a different story. It's a very strange projectile. It does really low. You can't duck it. It's hard to jump over, although possible. The thing is, if you jump over it, you jump over it. You can jump over it on reaction. But if he EXs it, after the initial jump, it does hits, and you'll be able to land and block, but you won't be able to land and jump again. And if you're already jumping, you'll land into hits. It's got like a shit ton of hits, so you can't like, stay in the air for the whole time it's shooting the machine gun. And the thing about it is the damage is super low, but the chip damage is super high. So it actually ends up doing almost the same damage if you block it as if you get hit by it. Which is really funny because if you block it, he builds meter, I think. But if you get hit by it, I think he builds less. It's a very strange projectile. It's got a lot of startup and a lot of uh, duration. Maybe not recovery necessarily, but duration. And without the EX, it is jumpable on reaction. Even with the X, a jump doesn't get punished by the X. So it basically only works by merit of the way that people avoid wrist gun. People have to respect wrist gun a lot, and then machine gun works because you're respecting wrist gun. But like between those two tools, that's like 70% of what makes that shot good. I remember in Error Edition, Street Fighter 4 Error Edition, one of Error's Blanca tools, one of Error's Blanca buffs, I guess, was he had a medium Blanca ball that did like 5 damage on hit, but if you blocked it, it did like 100 damage. So it's like the meta was to like if you knew that Blanca was going to do a medium Blanca ball, the meta was to deliberately eat it, deliberately get hit. Yeah, having a low fireball at all is pretty good. I don't think it's a true low. I think it's like a mid. I don't remember. The air fireball is good too. It's a me. Scarecrow is kind of like he's like Laura with he's got like Laura his low blast is like Laura's EX electricity. He's like a grappler with a command grab who also has like an EX move that he can make you block that like is really plus. So like every time you get close, you can either do like a block string into that. You can either do a command grab or a block string into that EX move, which then leads into another block string, which could be a command grab. So as long as you've got meter, you can mash 50-50s. Which is pretty nuts, but he's not great from far away. That's like his one big thing. This is over. This is like over. Yeah. He's toxic when he does that not taunt, trait. Attack, whatever. And if you're near him, you take damage, and there's no way to guard against that. So you just have to stay really far away, and he's got a teleport that puts you near him. So, he can just bleed to do damage to you. Scarecrow is like super, super close range. He's a grappler. And he's got like his down one is like Zangief's crouch jab in Street Fighter 5. It's like a really, really long range crouch jab. That's just a lot of shit. Like, meter, a single bar adds a ton of damage in Injustice 2. You also lose a lot of meter from clashes, but the main reason is how good EXs are. Supers aren't bad; they're unclashable, and the combos into supers usually do pretty good damage. But a good super combo, I don't remember. It's been a long time, and they've adjusted the damage values. But a good super combo only does like 200 more damage than like an EX combo, and that's in a game with like 1,200 health, and like, you're spending 4 bars on a super instead of 1. That's that not quite EX electricity. Batman builds almost no meter with full screen fireballs. He's just owning. He doesn't want Scarecrow close. There's no trick to it. The thing about Batman is that he benefits from wasting time, because Batman gets his trait based on time elapsed. It just builds over time. There's no other mechanic to it. So if you can make it take a long time between encounters as Batman, you get more traits off. So Batman like just benefits from being lame in general, and then he especially benefits from being lame in this matchup. But if you look at Batarangs, they don't actually build that much meter at all. In fact, Scarecrow's building more meter from destroying Batarangs. Batman looks pretty grody when he's played well in this matchup. He looks very unfair, but the matchup is actually pretty good. This is probably a chill and watch night. I'm tired as fuck. I probably won't even be here longer than an hour more. Batman's like fundamental enough that you can play him anyway, but he definitely benefits the most from being like a pure zoning character in most matchups. Robin is like a weird, from what I can tell, Robin's like set up, but then he's like a rushdown character who like cuts his combos prematurely to have like Oki on following combos. He's like a reset character. Perhaps. Oh, but did I mention that down one is the sickest down one in the whole game? Down ones are pretty hard to combat of in general. In this game, you've got to cancel them straight away. Certain characters have like a string out of a down one, like Robin does, and Wonder Woman does, and a few others. This game has the same system of, no, what game, I forget what it is. There's some other game that does this. If the opponent's getting comboed, you can't command grab them, but if they're getting juggled, you can command grab them. So you can end combos, you can end juggles with command grabs, and like every grappler has launches. Every character in this game has launches. Launches are common. It's frequent to have at least one EX move that launches, and also there's a universal normal that launches. So. And sometimes there are other launching normals. And frequently there are launching strings. Juggles are just the name of the game. Juggles are how you get your damage. But you can end juggles with command grabs, which is nice. It makes characters like Bane and Scarecrow a lot better than they would be. That being said, Scarecrow has other ways of ending his combos. Pretty much every command grab ender is the strongest juggle ender. MK also has that. I have to think about it. Oh, doesn't it? I thought it did. Let me think. Who even has a command grab in MK? I thought that worked. Kano doing juggles into command grabs and shit. Isn't that a thing? Oh. No, no universal launchers. Down 2 is like an entirely different beast in Mortal Kombat versus Injustice. It could not be more dissimilar. There's like a universal uppercut in both games, but in Injustice, it's like it scales your combo super hard and does kinda not good damage, but like sets up into super combo friendly scenarios. That's this command grab. Juggle boys. Ending command grab. Corner juggles look really silly in MK games. In Mortal Kombat, the launchers, or I shouldn't say the launchers, the crouching uppercuts, they're still high crushes. They still beat high attacks because they're considered crouching for the whole animation. But they do really, really high damage, and they're super, super combo unfriendly. You can only actually get a launch uppercut into a follow-up combo if you hit the opponent really, really high or like super delayed or something like that. And if you can do that, it's almost always worth it because they add a ton of damage and almost no scaling. So like hyper optimal Mortal Kombat combos will have like a bunch of those, or like as many as you can fit, which is usually 1 or 0. And hyper optimal combos in this game will like never have the uppercuts. In both games, they're okay anti-airs. It depends on what character you're playing. Some characters have really good anti-air uppercuts. Some characters, it's not so good. That's a bit premature. Batman still got a clash. He's doing like really short combos. There it is. Ooh, uh-oh. Batman. That was a reset. Oh no, it wasn't a reset. It just looked like one. There's a weird rule in MK that you're actually canceling air normals to ground normals. So if you don't do the cancel, you'll still be in hit stun or block stun just as long. I should say hit stun. You'll still be in hit stun just as long, but if they hit you, you can block it. That's how MK and Injustice combos work. It's pretty strange. But ground links aren't typically possible like that. In Street Fighter, if you're plus like 5 and you do like a 4-frame attack, it's a combo. If you're plus 5 on hit and you do a 4-frame attack, the opponent will get hit before they recover. But if you're on the ground in NetherRealm games, and something's plus like 10 on hit, and then you do like an 8-frame attack, the opponent can still block it. You can't, like, normals don't link like that. Just because the opponent's in block stun, hit stun on the ground doesn't mean you can like get follow-up hits. There's actually a specific flag which allows for it, and moves that give enough time to combo will have that flag. Moves that are supposed to combo together, I suppose, will have that flag. So there's very little in the way of linking in these games. Which is why juggles are so prevalent, just to pick up the slack, combo-wise. It's okay to have one and not the other. Like, if you look at, like, Sub-Zero's freeze, that's a really obvious example of a move that has the flag that will allow you to do follow-up combos. But there's others that don't have, like, an ice effect or anything. They just leave the opponent reeling. Target combos are the only real combos on the ground for the most part. Every now and then a character will have something that's supposed to allow for follow-up combos. But yeah, TCs, as long as their feet are touching the ground, are the way to go. And cancels are like that too. Certain normals will have the flag to combo into other normals. So let's say you have a combo that's like, let's say you have a TC that's like A, B, C, and all 3 hits are cancelable. The third hit won't necessarily have the flag to allow combos afterwards. So you can do first attack, second attack, third attack, and then cancel. And that cancel's still good because it keeps you up your pressure. It lets you do block damage or stuff like that. That cancel can still be really strong. But oftentimes that, even though you can cancel there, you can't combo anything. Because all of your attacks can just be blocked. Even if you're hitting with your initial TC, the opponent will, and even if your special move is really fast, the opponent can just start blocking by your special move. Because there's no flag to allow grounded combo to combo. But if there's ever a special, like any string where it's like 1, 2, 3, like ABC I should say, ABC, and then it's you do AB cancel, the second one will always have the flag to do the combo on hit into like the C. And so it will always also combo into a special move. So if you do AB special cancel, it will combo on the ground. And that's like true for like every character in this game. So a really easy way to know what your like cancel strings are is to look at any TCs you have and then remove the last hit and just replace it with a cancel. And for the most part, every single TC where there's a third hit, there's also a cancel. The only exceptions for the most part are the ones where uh, uh, you're like midair or something like that. And this is occasionally used for balance. Like I think Katana and MKX had like a low that didn't do anything, and then she got like a low TC from, or she got a TC from that low, which also made it so that she could do low into special. And then she had a low starter, which she didn't previously have. Like she always had the low, I think. Ooh, that was a good flip. Ugh, I think he could have just killed with a block string. Instead, he did dash up command grab. One of the things that throws off a lot of people in this game, if they're like Street Fighter players, is the way that the hit stun and block stun doesn't necessarily lead to combos. But it's very abusable once you understand it. Here we go. Batman has bats that he can spawn, but they take like 10 real seconds between when he gets them. Are there moves that are punishable in it? Not a lot. They try to avoid useless moves in this game, but a lot of moves are gimmicky and become useless at a high level. They're not okay. They're not against having moves like those, but they've been less bad about that with each game. They don't shoot for that kind of thing, but occasionally it happens. I can't think. That was nice. Or was it? I can't think of a punishable and hit move off the top of my head. Nice. Batman can just interrupt that entire sequence with down two. Anyway, Batman gets these bats over time, like 10 seconds in order, 10 seconds of cooldown before he gets one, something like that. And then he can spawn them, and then he can release them anytime other than when he's getting hit. But if he gets hit, he loses them. The bats go away. But like if he's blocking or getting hit, he can't release bats. But if he's right about to get hit, if you hit a button to hit Batman, he can release the bat as you're like going for the attack. And if you hit him in time, he blocks, and you get hit. And if you don't hit him in time, you just get hit. And the bats have the flag to allow him to combo. So an on-hit bat, he can just link a normal. And the bats launch the opponent a little bit, so you can release them during combos and get some combos that you wouldn't normally get. Yeah, Manat is a decent example of that. But Batman has a lot more scenarios where you can do it. Or I should say more practical scenarios where you can do it. Electric arrows. Rare footage. That was bat release into combo. Bats are actually super, super technical. Batman is an otherwise boring character, but his bat trait is really, really intensely, like, thoughtful and planned. It's actually, like, a really neat mechanic. Like, a lot of attacks he has don't really have an ender. Like, he can do, like, the back 2-3, where he, like, throws the bats and rolls away. He throws, like, a batarang and rolls away. And normally there's no ender. But if you shoot some bats, or I think even a single bat, you can then combo into his grapple gun. That slide normally just ends a combo, but you see he did the slide and then he did a bat release, and it allowed him to combo out of the slide. So they make your unsafe attacks more safe, and they also give you new combos out of otherwise uncomboable attacks. So in that way, it's very much like Manat, except with Batman, it's much more practical because he gets a lot of them per round, and he has a lot of attacks that were designed around that. You can't spawn only one bat. As many bats as you'll have available, you'll spawn all of them at once. You can't do them while blocking, but yeah, you can do them as you can do them without committing. They have no commit. Hitting the button that shoots them has no like whiff recovery or anything like that. He can wake up blocking while shooting bats. Manot's technically capable of that, but it's quite difficult. With Batman, it's quite easy. Um, Probably the main reason people complain about Batman is that he's pretty good, and also he slows the game down quite a lot because he benefits from turtling, and also because literally everyone plays him. He's quite a common character. That was cool. That was a really cool little combo. People generally complain about Batman because he throws batarangs at you, like not even the bat, the mechanical bats. He just throws like the down back two or whatever it is, the regular ass projectile. And he does it to waste time. Having a bat at all, just chilling there. See that? See that little bat just following him around? Having that bat at all is so scary. See how he jumped forward and released the bat at the same time? High level Batman gimmick right there. Every Batman does that. It's actually super good. Especially if he releases the bat as he jumps forward when he's close to you. Because then the bat is going to hit you and you have to block based on where Batman is. It's very much like an Aegis. But it's only a single hit. Blocking is back in Injustice, don't forget. Superman is like, I don't know, he's like very, very, very one-dimensional compared to most of the cast. Superman has the best string in the entire game, and you can just spam it. It's like safe on block, it goes like half screen, I think it's a mid, right? And anytime, it's a two-hit string, and anytime either the hits connects, you can just confirm. Let's just say the first hit connects, you can just confirm into like a full combo. And the full combo is like just that string like twice or three times. And then like a special cancel. It's a launching string. I think it's 4-2-3. I forget the actual string. But it's just like do this string over and over. That's how you play Superman. And then if you see it hit, you do the string again, and then you do like Ice Breath or something. Who's the Karakusa character? Like a command grab into a full combo? I don't think I feel like there might be an example of that, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. Bane is probably the scariest grappler in this game in terms of mix-up potential. And Scarecrow is probably the scariest grappler in this game in terms of, oh Christ, how do I get him off? Scarecrow is the Laura and Bane is the Zangief. I feel like there's a command grab that goes into a launcher, but I can't place it. Like as the core of a character, I mean. Cheetah has that. Cheetah has a command grab into a launcher. But she's not a common character at all. But she's actually probably the most like Makoto. I don't know. She's kind of weird. She's actually quite a lot like Makoto. Cheetah's got like command grabs. She's like T-Hawk, I guess. She's like T-Hawk if Hawk Life was like 1,000 times better. Who's the boxer? What does that mean? Have good normals and hold down back? What generation of boxer are we talking about here? Because Street Fighter like 2, 4, and 5 boxer are three radically different beasts. He got a pretty high damage ender there because of the bat. SF4 boxer. Hold down back and have good normals. That's hard to say. Aquaman's a bit like that. Hold them back and have good normals. We're catching up a bit on NEC Injustice 2. Black Adam's a bit similar to Superman. He's got also a string that's very much like Superman's string. I think it's a bit worse. Who's the Oro? Impossible to answer. I guess it would be a character with a double jump, right? I feel like there is someone with a double jump in this game. Who is it? Batman has something that can be likened to a double jump. I feel like there's someone who's built around a double jump, but I can't think of who it is. Maybe I'm thinking of an MKX character. That one. I feel like there's a good answer to that question. The entirety of Galloping Ghost Arcade are the Gutex and Micros. Because literally everyone there is like that. It's like a whole arcade of fuckboys. Of corny, humorous fuckboys. If you see GGA in front of anyone's name, you know they're a clown. And I presume clowns are what you were talking about when you said Gutex and Micros. Goo and Micros do it big. Oof. That hitbox is giant. The hook attacks are so cool. Shazam is not even in this game. Sorry to break it to you. Shazam died in the plot of Injustice 1. What was Shazam like? Oh, I misread that question. Now I see the follow-up question. Who is the most Shazam like in this game? That might genuinely be like Cheetah or someone. It's a grappler anyway. Shazam was a character who could combo out of command grabs. He was like Makoto. Except he had Bison's Psycho Crusher. And you actually don't need a brain to use it, or you didn't. I don't know about, by the end. I don't know how they changed it. Replacement of Shazam. I need to see the cast. Nice flip out. Flipping out costs 2 bars. It's expensive. And it doesn't always break the combo if the opponent anticipates that they can keep on juggling you. So you spend 2 bars on nothing. It's pretty ugly. But there's certain strings where it's very hard for the opponent to keep comboing you if you flip out. So people watch for those strings and flip out on them. Maiming? Scarecrow has some normals that are reminiscent of Lobo, but that's like where it ends. I don't think the FGC needs money to function, but definitely money has changed the way the FGC functions. All the people who would be playing MKX are now playing Injustice 2 because money's like pouring into it, and it's like I might as well have my skills in some place where they could pay me off. There's definitely a lot similar between them. They're not so dissimilar, although they are quite mechanically different. I prefer the MK games for both story and mechanics, but the Injustice ones are actually more Street Fighter-ish. To me, MKX was like a 10 out of 10 game mechanically, especially once it got a bunch of patches. By the time XL was out, MKX was something that everyone should have played, I feel. I don't think FGC has lost its soul. It's more like there's a lot more people now, and the soul has been like spread out between the people. What I think actually is happening is that um, it used to be that only super dedicated players played fighting games because only super dedicated players knew about fighting games. And everyone who did it for passion. And maybe that is esports. In fact, it probably is esports. But now that it's gotten bigger, it's not just the super passionate people, it's the super passionate people plus the moderately passionate people. I've always been passionate about fighting games, but I've never been all that passionate about playing them. So I'm like a weird little case. I'm interested in the way that fighting games work, and I only play fighting games as much as I'm interested in how they work. But I feel like you can't truly enjoy a fighting game unless you're good at it, so I've made some attempt to be good. But like I mostly enjoy fighting games from the observational standpoint. I'm not super competitive, although I will try and win, because that's the point. Damn, that did a lot. Well, not a whole lot, but you know. I was wondering if he could kill with that, and he did. I don't know much about Smash 4 right now, but every time I tune in, it's Cloud and Bayonetta. It's actually mostly Cloud these days. I don't see that many characters considering how big the roster is. That being said, I see a lot of different characters. I'll always see like one Cloud, but like the other character will always be something completely different. Like there are characters I never ever saw. I never saw Mario at all prior to Smash 4. Mario was like an unseen character for me. And now there's like a decent number of Marios. I see like pretty much everyone. I see Lil Mac. I see like uh I don't know, I should just list characters. It'd take a while. I see a lot of Rosalinas or like Robins or like fucking, you know. I see a lot of weird shit. And it's like I see Cloud every other game. But like actually the balance besides like some characters is I don't know if it's good, but there's just a lot of really dedicated players who play weird characters. I saw a Robin player recently, Palatina. I'm kind of down to find an MKXL tournament. I mean, it might just be that I don't watch Smash 4 much, but in Smash 2 and 3 and 1, maybe not 1, in Smash Melee and Brawl, um, and even like Brawl Plus and Project M, um, it was a very small number of characters you'd actually see. Something about Smash either makes people play low tiers, or the low tiers are functional. I stopped playing MKX for the entirety that the PC support died, and then I got it again once XL came out, and it's fun. But I haven't played it competitively in a while. But it's like an excellent game. I have like not enough. I can't. I would take a long time to say all the nice things I have to say about MKX, especially by L. Every character is so unique. Even the different variations of the same character are so unique. Those little quotes are cute. Hi, Blankface, Fallen Angel. What a nice edgy name. He can destroy those balls with his little blast there. But in doing that, he opens himself up to getting projectiled. Tom Brady's tears are like the most delicious tears of any fucking member of the FGC. I love going into Tom Brady's fucking stream, and he's just like complaining about something. And he's right. Like about 80% of the time or more, he's complaining about something that he is extremely right to complain about. And the thing is, it's always a variation on a theme, and the theme is Sub-Zero sucks. It'll always be this character has like a get out that works against 100% of the things Sub-Zero can do in X situation. Wow, they added a character to the game who invalidates Sub-Zero. I remember that particular one happened like 4 times. Tom Brady is like this. He's like I don't know his actual name. He's like a super dedicated Sub-Zero main. He probably, I don't know if he plays anymore, but if he plays this game, he probably plays Sub-Zero in this game. And good lord, Sub-Zero, he's had his good days and his bad days in the series. Sub-Zero has a very gimmicky gameplay. It's not gimmicky, it's just like, it's not going to work on every character. Different characters are just invariably going to have very different options against it. Imagine, imagine Urian. Imagine if Urian could put Aegis reflectors any place where he was currently standing. And now imagine if you touched an Aegis reflector at any time for any reason. Urian got a full combo on you. That's Sub-Zero. And imagine the Aegis reflectors are free. That's Sub-Zero. And now imagine the entire character is based around that one ability. So if you've got the mobility to move around the ice clones, or if you've got the ability to attack well through them, or control Sub-Zero's movement or something like that, so that he can't get near you in Ice Clone or his Ice Clones don't do anything. That is so important. Sub-Zero just has... The thing is, his gameplay is very all or nothing. It's like, he's the kind of character who would be top tier or bottom tier in every matchup, but they actually spend a really long time trying to make sure that Sub-Zero's matchups are actually fair. But then the nanosecond they start adding new characters, they stop spending that time with Sub-Zero and the new character. So when Sub-Zero comes out, it's like super, super clean, his matchups. They're all fair. It's not like Sub-Zero ever wins or loses, so it's not like Sub-Zero's even like a strong character. He's just like a mid-tier. And then they introduce new characters who like either destroy Sub-Zero and make him completely non-viable, or like theoretically to get creamed by Sub-Zero, but it's usually the former. It's exactly like Dalsum in Street Fighter 4, as a nice little metaphor. They spent a very long time in vanilla making sure Dalsum was fair against every character. And then every single version after that, every time they added new characters, they didn't spend that much time trying to make sure that Dalsum worked. So Dalsum would have, against a lot of the new characters, Dalsum would either destroy them or like be horrible against them. I remember Hakan main saying Hakan Dalsum was free as fuck. Hakan, like, Dalsum couldn't stop Hakan from just like sliding in. Not like the slide, like focus stuff, I think. Um, Certain characters would just get like have a super hard time zoning sim, or I shouldn't say like getting close to sim, like Hugo. And certain characters have super easy time getting close to sim, like Yan or Yang. I spent all this time in vanilla getting it perfect. Sims matchups in vanilla were like straight 5-5s. A twin would fare. They would fit super well. Twins can be adapted to almost any fighting game, I feel. They've got a versatile toolset, albeit extremely rushdown based. It's rushdown based versatile. The thing about the twins that no one wants to acknowledge is the twins are extremely popular. People pretend to get mad because the twins are like busted in every game they're in. And probably some people legitimately get mad because the twins are busted every single game they're in. But the honest truth is that people like playing high tier characters. Not that the twins are super popular because they're usually technical too. But everyone has, I hear this so often, everyone's like, it might just be me. Don't vilify me for saying this. This is gonna sound nuts. Variations of that. But I wouldn't mind the twins returning. And it's like everyone's saying that. It's fucking the whole fucking world. This is gonna sound nuts, but I want Yun back. People like having favorites. That's the thing. If it was just one character, people would be like, I like this character, I don't like this character, and that would be that. But I feel like because there's two of them, because there's a Yun and a Yang, people are like, I like Yun more. People are like, I like Yang more. Seems like most people like Yang more. In every single Street Fighter game they've both been in, Yang has been functional and good, which is admittedly not that many games. So I don't really care if Yun is always better as long as they're both good. I was joking about this to Ominous. Ominous recently came in and he was like, playing Akuma. Something or other. I forget exactly what he said. But I was like, it's a concession to play Akuma. You have to like come to terms with it. You have to make a realization in and of yourself. You have to realize that you like playing a top tier. You have to realize that Akuma is a top tier and that you're playing Akuma because he is a top tier. I mean, they could fuck it up really easily, but it would be kind of cool if Cody, for his V skill, pulled out a knife, and if he got hit, the knife went away. But until he got hit, all his normals were better. But you could just pull out the knife anywhere on the screen for the V skill. And then maybe all the knife normals also built V meter, in addition to being like better. I feel like the main reason people don't pick up the knife is because it changes your normals rather than just making them flat better. And additionally, you're usually not anywhere near the knife. So you'll need to be really good at playing without the knife, and then the addition of the knife is just kind of stressful. It changes everything you know. But if you could just pull out the knife wherever, that'd be pretty cool. Knockdown into knife. They probably won't do that. They'll probably make it like a sidestep or something. That's my prediction. They'll probably make it so he steps into the background and it's like a dodge. Like that new lore of V-Trigger. That's a whack looking combo. Step into the background is a V reversal dodge that doesn't move. That would be worse than a V reversal that does move. If he steps into the background and moves, it'd be okay. Spin kick would be the best V reversal. He had that move in Omega. I think you could do it while taking damage in Final Fight. Like if you were getting hit, if the opponent was literally comboing you, you could break their combo with the spin. Every time I watch part one, I'm reminded it's like, oh yeah, Jack the Ripper was a thing. How do you feel about games like Injustice and Killian where you have 2 flat health bars and not one per round? Um, Vampire Savior did that too. Or rather, all the Darkstalkers games I think did that. It's fine. It makes comebacks a little harder. Which is why a lot of the time those games play 3 out of 5 instead of 2 out of 3. The whole point of having health bars that both reset is it puts both players back on even ground. If you have a really horrible first round in this game, it makes it really hard to win the match. But if you have a really horrible first round in Street Fighter, you can still totally win. So I guess I don't like it in the main way that it's different. But it's not a huge deal. It doesn't really affect the way you play the game. It gives it a better flow, maybe. It's more continuous. I like that when you lose or win in this game, it keeps the screen position. I have only played Under Night and Birth one time at a fighting game meetup. And I don't even remember who I played. I don't even know all the characters in the game. I know there's like a Nalamao who like crawls around on super long arms, and he's good. I know there's a guy who like Carmine, I think, who can like hit you with blood, and he's got blood-based projectiles. And when he's low health, he can just spam them because he can't lose health anymore, but he can't die to it, and also there's no chip. And he's like super, super good at low health. I know there's like a system in place where you, if you walk backward too much, you get disadvantages or something like that. Freeman? Perhaps. I remember liking Freeman a lot, but I haven't played Garo in so long. And I hear he's bottom tier. If I recall, if I recall correctly, he's like the worst parts of Mature and the worst parts of Iori rolled into one character. He's got like really committal attacks. Like every attack he has is very like there's only one way of doing it. If that makes any sense. Beat. Black man ta. Um, if Chun-Li's on the ground and Aura's on the ground, then Chun-Li can hit Crouch Medium Kick and it will beat every attack that Aura has, barring Aura's Crouch Medium Kick, which has less range and trades at best. All of Aura's attacks whiff on crouching Chun-Li, and while crouching, Chun-Li can shoot out with this low-profile normal that confirms the super on hit. She like utterly controls the ground. Aura has nothing. One bat can't make slide safe, I don't think. Or maybe it can, but as a mix-up. Isn't Morgana the cat? I don't know anything about the cat other than he wants you to go to sleep. I don't really know anything about Persona. Except the Personas might be like stands. Except that they're religious figures, maybe. And also one person can have a bunch of them? Oh, this might kill. Did it all combo? Maybe he never landed there. Those orbs are really strange. They have no hit stun or block stun, and they're unblockable. So basically, if you put them up and then you get near the opponent, they just take damage, and there's like nothing they can really do to prevent that. But more importantly, canceling into the orbs counts as a special cancel. So you can do like string into cancel to orbs and then more strings, and you get a juggle. Half the time it's free damage, so you might as well do it. But it's also useful for like confirming. That was the bat to save the slide. It's a mix-up, I think. If he does it early and you try to punish him early, he hits you. If he does it late and you try to punish him late, he hits you. But if he does it early and you try, if he does it early, you can react and just punish. If you didn't already commit. And if he does it late, you could counter hit him. 50-50. Dude, I hope we don't get Bardock. Holy shit, we have 3 Gokus. I don't want a 4th Goku. Jiren would be fine. Jiren would be dank. Jiren would be a dank character to add. Because the nanosecond they add Jiren, there's gonna be like fucking Jiren Blanco and shit like that. I don't even remember which android is 13. Which is the one that looks like Frankenstein? Tetsu would be a good character. I actually want Hercule, Mr. Satan. Oh, the black one with the big hat. I remember him. 8 is Frankenstein. I remember 13 now. He's cool actually. I'm not even gonna say anything bad about Android 13. He's cool. Seal of approval. I think my favorite Android is probably 17. Although to be 100% honest, I like 20 a lot. What's his name? Dr. Garo. I nearly called him Dr. Mew. Dr. Mew is the one who made Baby. Like half the Dragon Quest Pro tags actually have canon names, which is pretty neat. But it's usually, I shouldn't say canon name, that's a bit strong. They have names in like the official manga, for example. One of my friends is really hoping that if you play 18 and Krillin on the same team, that Krillin takes 17's place in those animations. Is that how it works? I know that they have some shared animations, but I don't know how they actually did it. When you're actually playing Dragon Quest, you won't actually see any of Toriyama's art style until like 8. 8's like the first game where you can actually see Toriyama's art style. Toriyama's, Toriyama's art style is charming. He's maybe kind of a bad artist, but he's got a lot of charm to his style. I want Pilaf, Shu, and Mai as one character. I want some Sonic Heroes ass shit. And that's Kid Mai and Kid Shu, by the way. Who's the actual Dragon Ball character I'm holding out for? Let me think about that. Tao Pai Pai. What about is Master Roshi already a character? Muten Roshi. General Blue. Dude, actually add General Blue. I was just thinking that there aren't enough gay Nazis in fighting games. I think that Dragon Ball Fighters can be the first one. Su Hao from Mortal Kombat is a gay Nazi. Wow. I guess I want Roshi. Dude, imagine how fucking lit it would be if they announced Gohan Blanco. I don't even remember that guy's name. The Indian dude from Dragon Ball who got killed. Then they had to climb the fucking tower or whatever. Huh? It's just called Dragon Ball. Shaggy Verde. That's what I want. I want Shaggy Verde. Dogs can run pretty fast, okay? Like a Great Dane can probably run somewhere in the territory of like between 30 and 4 miles, 30 and 40 miles per hour, okay? I'm guessing no one here understands miles per hour. Shaggy can run as fast as Scooby, and I somehow doubt that Scooby is waiting up for Shaggy. You know what I mean? Shaggy runs pretty fast. He seems to be in pretty damn good shape, to be honest. He looks like just some fucking hippie. You can tell immediately someone's a contrarian because they like Piccolo at all. I'm just kidding, I like Piccolo. Dude, Shaggy literally eats dog food. Explain this. After all these years, I still don't understand. I wouldn't even be surprised if in universe Shaggy could be like an Olympic sprinter. If they just had an episode just confirming that. It's like, hey, did you know that Shaggy's one of the fastest sprinters in the world? I believe that. To be honest, Scooby-Doo is a pretty good show. And it's had a lot of different shows, and all of them have been pretty good. I remember watching Pup Named Scooby-Doo as a kid, and it was pretty entertaining. And to be 100% honest, Pup Named Scooby-Doo is probably the lowest Scooby-Doo's ever been. Scooby-Doo is like consistently high quality. It's also changed quite a lot for the times, which is kind of neat. It's kind of neat to see like how Scooby-Doo, this is the Scooby-Doo of each era, the kind of Scooby-Doo that people want to see. I forget what it was called, but there was like one where it was just like Daphne and Shaggy and Scooby and Scrappy, and that was pretty weak, I guess. And there were like a bunch of real ghosts. Save the ghosts for the fucking TV movies. I don't like when Scooby and Scrappy just run into a straight up mummy, and Scrappy's just like, "Let me at him." I don't need that shit. Best Scooby-Doo character of all time. Let me think. Red Herring. Red Herring is not as much a good character as it is hilarious that he exists. I think I've seen every Tom and Jerry. Literal fucking zombies. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. I remember that one. I remember Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. I remember Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. I remember the Reluctant Werewolf. I remember the Ghoul School. I remember, oh, what was the one with the aliens? I don't remember the name of that one. I lied. The lowest Scooby-Doo has ever been has been the live-action movies. But even then, they're kind of charming in an awful way. You can say a lot of things about the Scooby-Doo movies, but the casting of Shaggy was the very highest tier casting in any movie. I guess my dick belongs to Velma. Anyone ever see the episode Powerless in the Face of Death from Venture Bros? Because it's probably my favorite episode in the entire history of the show. and it has some Scooby-Doo-esque characters in it. Uh, Grodd used to be a character who would show up occasionally. He's never been popular. He's always been one of the least played characters. But I haven't seen a Grodd in a long time. Venture Bros is my favorite show. Every character in it is funny as fuck. I didn't even flush. Let them see the wrath of the monarch. Unpopular characters? Cheetah, I've like almost never seen footage of. I need to see the roster. It's hard to say the like characters that no one plays without looking at the roster. Um, Let me think. Blue Beetle has never been super popular. He might be more popular now than he used to be. Dude, Grodd made me realize how badly I want playable gorillas in fighting games. Joker used to be quite popular, and now I haven't seen him in a while. But he used to be like a fairly common character. Same with Harley Quinn. He used to be fairly common, and now they've disappeared. I don't know if just time passed and people got used to fighting them, or if they got nerfed in some way. Probably the former. Probably both. Aqua Teen Hunger Force is a pretty funny show. I'm trying to think of some episodes I really liked. I like the episode where Shake's son shows up. That episode is funny as hell. I like the episode where um they clone a dog in or they like grow a dog in uh Carl's pool. Hey Banana. Joker I think just had hard to blockables. Dude, that episode was funny as fuck. That one hit me out of nowhere. Every episode with whatever his name is, the Ghost of Christmas Past from the future. The one where Carl gets a mail order bride and she like takes over his house. I watched a good amount of the early Billy and Mandy, but I didn't keep watching. Remember Chicken Ball Z? Remember that shit? Remember when Billy and Mandy had an entire episode dedicated to parrying DBZ? I had to like, Aqua Teen Hunger Force is an acquired taste. I like hated the first 10 episodes I saw, and then the more I watched, the more I realized I didn't hate it, I liked it. Imbecile, or whatever. Meh. Cartoon anime or show about the FGC. I don't know. How about every episode of Xavier Renegade Angel? That's the actual greatest show. The very first time I watched Xavier, I was like, this is the greatest show I've ever seen. And then every time I watched it after that, I was like, not only is this the greatest show I've ever seen, but I missed a bunch of shit the first pass. Xavier is the best show. Literally every line from every episode is extremely quotable. Xavier Renegade Angel with a question mark? What the fuck? Watch the whole thing. It's on YouTube. Literally watch every episode. It's only like 20 episodes. And every one's only 11 minutes long. Just watch it start to finish. Don't even look it up. Just watch it. Yeah, this is Superman. Oh yeah, Xavier. It's not bizarre, it's genius. It's just operating on a higher plane. Xavier is a fucking fourth dimension TV show. We're fucking operating in the third dimension.